Hey everyone, it's Tim Topham here, and in today's video I want to show you a couple of things that I've been doing in my studio to teach one of the songs from The Greatest Showman. And of course, The Greatest Showman has been a very popular musical around the world, and you may well have been asked if one of your students could learn one of these songs but not known what to do. So let me show you exactly how I approached it. So the first question I get asked often is, well, how do I know which song to teach my students? Well, the simple answer to that is, well, you ask them. So I always ask my students what songs they want to learn, and I do it quite regularly. And so one of my students came back to me recently. He's an 11-year-old, relatively new student for me, and he said that he was really keen to learn two of the songs from Greatest Showman. So one of them was called The Greatest Show, and the other one was called The Other Side. So here's a little clip of The Greatest Show. It's everything you ever want. And here's The Other Side.
Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't want.
So the first step when you've got an option like this for songs that students want to learn is to then go and have a look at the music. So let me show you my process of finding that online. Okay, so here I am on Google. I've just done a search for the two songs that I know my student is keen to learn. One of them's called The Greatest Show, so we'll check that one out. And in another tab, I've opened The Other Side, and these were the two that he was keen to learn. So here's the start of The Greatest Show, and just having a quick look at it now, it's in B minor, so that's not as, it's not impossible, but there's actually only one chord on this first page. So without buying it, I actually don't know that much more about it and how it works. So I'd actually have to go and have a look at the guitar tab. Let's check out The Other Side. And I look at this and I go, aha, now this is in A minor. These are all chords that my student has actually already learnt, well, without the fives, but that just means it's a triad without the middle note, so it's just fifths. These are progressions that he's going to be able to pick up really, really easily. So I think this is going to be the song that I'm going to check out. So I'll also go then and have a look at it on Ultimate Guitar, because that just gives you the full song with the lyrics and also the chord symbols, so we could actually play and sing along with that information. So I think this is going to be the piece that we work on. So now that we've chosen our song, it's time to actually head to the piano and work out how we're going to teach this to our student. So the great thing about this particular piece of music is that those chords, as I said, were all really familiar and will be familiar to my student. So having a look at the sheet music, you can see that we've got just a set of 4 chords to begin with. We've got A, and it should be actually, well, it's in the official version, which I got from Music Notes, it's actually A5, which just means an A chord without the middle note, so no major or minor. This, and then G, and then F, and then E. So with my student, we filled in the middle notes of those chords. So we made them A minor, and G, and F, and E major at the end. And I found another version of the score that actually used this kind of motion in the left hand, which I thought was kind of cool. And it does give it that style of the original, because the original's got this kind of, this really kind of country sound and feel to it. And so a really good thing to do there would be to add this kind of pattern in the left hand. And for my student, that wasn't too hard. It took a couple of weeks to get it because he really is a very new player, but that was quite easy, and he instantly got the feeling of the piece and he really enjoyed learning it and the sounds that he was making. So we had something like this just to start with. And then when he was ready, he was able to add those alternating fifths in the left hand. And we've already got most of the bulk of the song and the feel of the piece, which is really, really cool, and a great reason for choosing this particular option for my student. So now we go into the main area, and this is where the actual lyrics start. So Barnum sings, right here, right now, I put the offer out, I don't want to do sorry, I don't know the words all that well. So this was really new to me, by the way. I've seen this show only once, so when I had to look back at this, I listened to the song a few times on YouTube. I got the feeling in my head, and this is important to do as a piano teacher, so that you've got some idea of how the song goes. For my student, he loves this song, so he knew the words and he knew the lyrics. But before we get to that, let's just focus on the main part of the first verse. So we've got these same set of chords. And it goes through this pattern twice. And then there's a bar of rest. And then we go on to the second part of the verse. So we've got a new set of chords there. Still all very, very simple chords, which is great. So what we did with my student is I just got him to play, we were just going slowly in what I call my pop piano style. The right hand's playing just a triad in root position, the left hand's playing a single note as the bass line. And it could be down here or up here. And we're just repeating for the 4 beats of the bar and the F. And then stop on the G and hold 2, 3, repeat that, etc. So we're just getting used to the chords and the positions and all that kind of stuff without worrying too much about complexity of rhythm or speed. I mean, this song, as you saw in that little clip, is about this kind of speed. So we don't want to play it obviously at that speed straight away. So start slowly. The next thing that we did was actually get him to feel that offbeat pattern. So we got used to this kind of feeling. Playing left, right, left, right, left, right. And this was quite new to him. But instantly, as soon as he heard that and felt it, he's like, aha, that's cool. That's how this piece is meant to sound, because it's got that kind of country feel to it. So if we could give that to the student on the piano, then we've got another win. So then the next step for this particular student, as I do with all my students who are learning anything popular or that is a song, is to encourage them to sing it rather than try and play that melody. So if he tries to play that melody, even I'm having trouble to play at that speed. And the reason, of course, is that none of these pop songs are generally designed to be sung. So, designed to be played. So get your students to sing them instead. So what I did to take the pressure off is I got him to play and I gave it my best rendition that I could. Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I'm not any kind of a singer and I don't know the song very well, but I gave it a shot. And I said, all right, do you want to give it a go? Rather than get him to play and sing at the same time, I then played it for him and got him to sing. So I was... And I hadn't actually heard him sing too much before. I knew he was a singer and he also plays another instrument. And Mum tells me that he does like singing. So I knew he would be, he'd be up for it, but he was very quiet to start with. And so I had to give him some encouragement. And then the next step for him would be to try and play and sing at the same time. Now, the other side, this song that we're learning, is actually really good for this because the first beat of every bar, except for the 4th bar and the 8th bar, so every 3 out of 4 bars, starts with a rest in the vocal line. So my suggestion for my student was that he just plays the chord and holds it. So we go back to the simple starting kind of pattern just while he gets used to singing it. So he'd do something like this. Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't know, I don't know, you see it, you run to me. So he's just playing the chord. Sorry about the lyrics and the bad singing, but you get the idea. So he's just playing the chord on the first beat where there's actually a rest in the vocal line, which is just perfect for a student who's learning to play and sing along for the first time. So that is definitely the next step. And then as they get more comfortable with this, they can join that introduction into the main part of the song, and then eventually try adding that rhythm back while they sing. So right here, right now, I put the offer out. And that's the kind of pace that I'd recommend going at least in the first few weeks, once he's got hang of it, or once your student has learnt it. And then of course there's the next section which uses a couple of new chords. So we've got an F chord, and C, and G, and A minor, and G, and F, and C, and D, and E. So really achievable chord sets, which is why I totally love finding a pop song like this, or a song from a musical, something that students know that also has really achievable chord structures in it. How good is that? So I hope that's been helpful, looking inside my studio and how I teach my students these pop songs. Let's just go over really quickly a couple of the key points. The first one is do ask your students what they want to learn. Take the list from them, however many it is, and then go away in your own time, have a listen to those songs or clips or whatever it is on YouTube or Spotify, get a feeling for it, and then the ones you think are most achievable or have the most chord structure. I mean, sometimes students ask me to teach them rap and things which don't have much piano in it at all, or any kind of chordal guitar or anything. That's really difficult. So find a piece that you think sounds like it could work on a piano, then go and have a look for the music just as I showed you earlier on. Then make a start, play it yourself, get used to how it goes and be ready to maybe sing along if you want your student to do that. And then of course you can start working with the piece with your student. So let me know how it goes. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. If you've got any questions about this approach or the music that I've shown you, or indeed if you've got requests for other videos of me showing you how to teach something that you've been asked by a student to teach. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, see you soon. Have a great week. Hang on a sec, just before you go, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel on YouTube, then please click the link below and you can also check out one of my other popular videos over here. And if you're a music teacher looking for help modernizing your teaching and growing your studio business, then just check out the link up the top here for information about how you could benefit as a member of my InnerCircle piano teaching membership community.